Hey fam, what's going on? I'm Draken Mythic.
And I'm Ripcord, and together we make up GingerAndABeard, and today we're going to dive deeper into the Dwarf race in Lineage 2 Revolution.
Yeah, we're going to take a close look at those lollies, the perks they bring, and all the individual subclasses you can enjoy while playing Dwarf. So let's jump right in. Alright fam, we are here with the Dwarf race. Finally getting to look at all these subclasses of the pretty little dwarfs. Again, as I mentioned earlier, Ripcord not feeling very well right now, so I'm finishing out this series solo so we can get you guys all the info you need when picking the Dwarf race and which subclass you're going to want to shoot for. So first off, we have the Guardian. This is going to be the tank, obviously, from the Warrior subclass, or base class, excuse me. So how it works is you choose a base class, you run that base class for 30 levels. At 31, you're going to transfer over to one of two subclasses. So if you want to run the tank, you're going to have to play a Warrior, and then you move into the Guardian, and that is where we're at. So Guardian, tank, sword and shield, heavy armor, or skirts in this case. Yeah, why would you want heavy armor? That'd be a bad idea. Looking at the abilities here, we got Thrust, a damage swing that decreases enemy damage and provokes them to attack you. So, as a tank, it is awesome to reduce the incoming damage. That's less your healer has to heal, less you have to worry about incoming, and you get the taunt all in one. Earthquake slams the ground, damaging and knocking down enemies within the area, decreases attack of affected enemies. So let's just keep reducing the damage that is coming in on you, and that is how you tank. You don't need to actually take any damage, you just reduce all the damage and you live forever. So pretty sturdy class, especially with the Dwarf. High defense, high HP, going to be a solid tank class for you. Moving on to the Slayer, this is our melee AoE DPS. You get to rock dual swords or the spear, whatever you prefer. And another skirt / heavy armor, that's alright. That's how it works when you're a dwarf. You don't need actual armor because your skin is rock solid. Anyways, next up is the Power Smash. So attacks the area in front to deal massive damage to enemies within the area. So huge burst potential here, and can attack an area, which is always good when you're trying to deal as much damage as possible to as many enemies as possible. Next we have the Leap Attack. Jumps to a target to knock down nearby enemies, briefly rendering them unable to attack. So, a couple great things here. We've got a Gap Closer, which as a melee hero, you definitely want a Gap Closer because you don't want to get kited out by those range heroes. And then, briefly renders them unable to act. So, if they can't get away from you, you can just keep doing more damage, and you're good to go. And this is my favorite buff in the entire game, just because it's called Angry Dwarf. While active, increases attack and decreases damage taken. So don't want to piss off these little girls because they'll go Angry Dwarf. And that's the Slayer subclass of the dwarfs. Moving into the Rogue subclasses, we have even less armor, but you get a big dagger, so that's good. Scavenger first, the prototypical rogue class, rocking the dagger, light armor, all that good jazz. First ability is the Blade Rush. Charges forward, penetrating enemies, making them more vulnerable to critical attacks. So that's good. You can, you also have a Gap Closer. A melee character is great, and then you're going to do more crits, which is more damage, which is awesome, because you need to kill stuff really fast since you're not as tanky. Well, let's be honest, it's a dwarf. You're kind of tanky, just naturally. So, doing more damage is good. Next up is the Sonic Star, where you just go ham apparently. Wow. Move swiftly in a pentagram shape while attacking enemies. Affected enemies have their speed decreased and can't use their skills. So you have a silence and you have a slow. That is pretty awesome, especially when it's AoE like that. So get in the middle of everybody, slow them up, silence them up, and then you can have, have your way. Just knock everybody down. Kill them quickly. And then this would be probably the biggest reason for me to have a rogue ever. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the rogue subclass. I know some people are, but Adena searched. Adena is the gold. It is the base currency of Lineage 2 Revolution. And this ability discovers more Adena when battling, increasing speed, and affected enemies are poisoned and slowed. So not only are you getting more gold, which is the biggest limiting factor when leveling up in this game, because you need gold for everything, you're also increasing your speed, which gets you closer on top of those enemies, so you can do damage quickly, and you're going to poison them and slow them so they can't get away. So Adena Search, great ability on the Scavenger subclass. Alright, let's give that little girl a bow. Take a look at the War Ranger. What is she doing with her arm? That is kind of weird. Anyways, rocking a bow, rocking light armor. Let's take a look at these abilities quickly. Holy crap, that thing is huge. That was amazing. Fires an elemental arrow that explodes to deal damage and knock down enemies. So you got a knockdown. That is always good when you're ranged. You're trying to keep them off of you. And it's got a huge animation, so that's good. Evasion shot. Step back 3 meters and fire 3 arrows that explode to damage enemies and slow enemies. So, again, perfect for kiting, keeping yourself away from those guys trying to jump in on you and take you out. You do have the natural tankiness, but you'll survive even longer when you don't take any damage, and that is exactly what evasion shot's going to do for you. So, a lot of good crowd control for the War Ranger as the ranged subclass. Ranged physical subclass of the Dwarfs. Moving into the Mystics, we have super light armor, also known as cloth armor, on the Battle Mage, rocking the staff, and this is the DPS Mage class. So you're going to be looking to do earth damage, it looks like. Earth Spike violently erects a stone pillar to deal damage and knock down enemies within the area. So you got AoE damage as well as knockdown, which is awesome. Crowd control, can't stress it enough, is great, especially in PvP environments. And if you can do it to a whole bunch of people, that is awesome. Next up, Tri-Shard launches Earth Elemental Shards in 3 directions, penetrating and damaging enemies. So another AoE ability. This one kind of in a cone in front of you, or both actually in a cone in front of you. So kind of work on positioning as you're as a battle-hardened mage of the Dwarf subclass. Next up, Infighter invokes old memories to increase the attack of your party's basic attacks. Okay, so a couple things going on here. One, I'm not sure what the old memories has to do with any of this, but increasing the attack of your party's basic attacks is very important because majority of your damage comes from basic attacks. You have most 5 abilities, and they all have pretty significant cooldowns on them, and there's no way to reduce that cooldown. So you're going to be increasing the primary form of damage in Lineage 2. It's a really good buff, coupled with great AoE abilities on the Battle Mage. Finally, we have the Sage, the healing subclass of the Dwarf race, rocking pretty bows as armor and the staff. First up, the Divine Protection, your healing spell, heals HP of you and your party members and increases their defense. So not only are you going to heal everybody, you're going to make them take more damage, or not take more damage, but reduce the damage that they take. That's what I have to say. So great combination there for the healer. Divine Clap slams the ground to deal damage and stun enemies within the area. So you're getting attacked, especially in those battlegrounds. People are going to come looking for the healers. You can stun up everybody, get away, and keep yourself alive. Good crowd control ability. Next up, Great Vitality. Increases max HP of you and your party members. It's pretty awesome because on top of adding defense with your healing spell, now you're giving them more HP, which just means they have more survivability. So great all around healing class here in the Sage of the Dwarfs. And that's pretty solid, I'd say there. So if you want a healer that's got some utility and crowd control, this is definitely going to be the subclass for you. Alright fam, that is going to be it for the Dwarf subclass breakdown. Let us know what you liked, let us know what you didn't like down in the comments below. Be sure and hit the subscribe button. Give us a like, we'd greatly appreciate it, helps us grow. And we do have all of the other subclasses broken down in videos on our channel, so go check those out. And until next time, take it easy.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hero, hero. Hero, hero. Hero, hero. I wanna be a hero, hero.